gotta translate something. Okay, so the reference was the jets landing in Queens, going across the bridge to New Jersey. That's the flip-flop on the zigzag zig. Shattered mirror effect. In my post, I talked about the diplomats, Jim Jones. But that's the Harlem world. Trying to take this shit home. Now, if we got the Queens and the Queens Bridge, that's two queens that said what they did. That must be Pisces and Vesica Pisces. I got this shit. This shit kind of excites me. So, if I'm standing on Pisces and Vesica Pisces, and I want to look as far as I can see, but I needed a mirror as big as me. So I had to lay it down in the 313. So as I rose and came on up, they flipped that shit. 248, 14. That's a double up. So now the statue is looking, and I'm looking back. But where's the shadow that it casts? Now remember, it was 4 beasts. Now I did that shit. I got that receipt. You can look back for this. You lay it all out across the 248. You kick that statue down and get this shit straight. It ain't no liberty if you don't know how to play. Now the French is the fuckers, because French mean frank. Dig? Frank speech. Direct. Now, when you look at the 4 heads, one is an ox. But they told me Master Fire Muhammad was God. That made me watch. Blatant contradiction right in my face. But he was only a reflection of an earthbound place. Now, I sat back and I watched this wandering Jew. And it landed me up with Henry Ford, and I combined the two. Because Ford and Fard is the same damn word. It means that the toll to be paid is hid in the words. So if Master Fard Muhammad is God, what do that mean for the black? That means if you pay attention, it's just a reflection of that. That's a sign for a motherfucking traveling man. You got to be the G in the middle. The 7th letter made in order to set all of this shit straight. Whew. It's a good thing I done been squared off on all 4 corners. My mama Vice Lord Check laid it down for me. You see them all when you put them together? The V and the L make a perfect square. But somewhere along the line, Pops flipped that shit. Man, look at this. Now, they tell me that my mama was a vice lord, but they was a biker gang. Now, this is where Hell's Angels started getting this thing. Hell's Angels. See, I done been given command of the armies of both heaven and hell to get rid of this monster so we can all live well. So the flame in the hand of the Liberty fell. It landed across the ford and an ox where it fell. Babe the blue ox. Remember that one? I guess that shit make me Paul Bunyan. Because I be chopping down trees like a fucking lumberjack. Yeah. I flipped the motherfucking wilderness queen. I got the axe to prove that. And so, all my receipts collecting cash, it's time to get to digging in these motherfuckers' ass. I hope y'all ready for what y'all about to see. Because when we flip this shit from 3, 2, 1, it'll be 1, 2, 3. You about to see this shit go down. right at your fucking feet. We about to expose all the imposters, assassinate their ego. And it's kind of a homonym when you put it together. I'm telling you, he go. And we go. Hard than a motherfucker. Every fucking time. We done laid this shit down one more time. See, now you got this wise one and the one that's undefeated. You put them together, we can't be beat. All motherfucking eyes now see. 300 and motherfucking 60 degrees. The snake out in the open. Watch for the serpent. And watch for them motherfucking monkeys. They coming to support him. Remember the panther they showed you in film? But flip that shit in the mirror and watch who helps him. You see, they told you that the panther was the heir to the throne and the gorilla rejected his. Man, leave that shit alone. Because that's some more divide and conquer shit. And we don't play that. This is the monkey and the serpent. We gonna show him how to act. Why I hit him high from this knowledge sit, he gonna hit him low. And it'll be they heels he clipped. Remember what they said? It's the serpent in the weight. But you didn't know it was the enemy's tape. You see, he made you think that shit was reversed. But now we about to crack that motherfucking curse. All eyes on me, all eyes gonna see. Ain't that right, 50? So, this how we doing it. 50 niggas, 50 sisters. We gonna absorb this gorilla unit. And before I end this shit, all kings rise. I hit the kill switch. Okay, so now this video, as you see, the black royalty of Europe, and we're gonna go into who these people are, right? Because these are the ones behind all the dirt. These are the pawns. These are the pushers of the pawns. These right here are called blackamoors, but they also called Jews. Right here. See, red lodge, blue lodge. They telling you they in both lodges. Right here. Blue lodge, red lodge. Now look at his hand. You know, this is a chalice, this is a chalice. Now look, the sizes of the chalice makes the difference in the rank. Now you notice he can hold his with his full hand here. He can't hold his. He can't hold his with the full hand. These chalices mean that these two people are his subjects. He is the superior here. This guy works for him. That's why he's behind him. The only way this guy don't work for him is if he is the one giving the instruction. But because he's holding the chalice, it leads me to believe he is the one in charge. Now, how do we get to find out who the fuck got us in this dirt? Let's go to the beginning. I told y'all about the Ottoman Empire, and more argued me down that the Ottomans was not Turks. So this is how we do that. This is their empire. Turkey is here. Turkey is over here, right? Matter of fact, Turkey is actually up here. But we're going to go to it in another map. Now, this is the Ottoman Empire. Look at the years. 1300 to 1359. That's showing the darkest areas. From 1359 to 1451 is showing the next darkest area. 1451 to 1512 shows this. And as you go on, it get lighter. Now, watch this. This is the Byzantine Empire. Look at the years, 1265 to 1355. Now let's go back. 1359, overlapping empires. Pay attention. Now, this is the Byzantium, right? This is the island of Crete. This is Greece. This right here is going into Asia and Turkey and all of those places like that, right? Now look. Dominion of the Mamelukes, right? Then, when you go over further, this Okay, this is Cyprus, so you now got to know the geography, right? It's telling you the empires and stuff, but this is Byzantium. So this is the Byzantine kings here. And the Byzantine kings, this is Turkey. This is Greece. This is Crete, right? Turkey, Crete, and Greece. Greece is where the Egyptian priests settled to civilize all of the people that were thrown away over here in the Caucasus, right? They brought the offspring from Babylon and they dumped them here in the Caucasus Mountains. The reason they did it is because there's a mountainous range and nobody will know they there. And that was the whole goal, and that was the dirt. That was the dirt that got us caught up in this bullshit. Now watch this. Go a little further. Now look, you got the Pope here, the Queen here, and this is those satanic Jews. This is the description that Europeans always draw the satanic Jews, is this description right here. Now look at all of the symbolism. You see that Z? The zigzag zig. That is the method by which you climb the Holy Sephirah. Now notice it's in the red 6. Then look at here. You see, so the Moors here control this motherfucker and this woman. Right? She dead, but they got a look-alike playing her right now. That's not the real Queen Elizabeth over there. All right? But when you look at all of the symbols, you see the Boy Scout symbol in there? Right? And you see all your gas stations. And look, this is the symbol of Thoth. They have no business using this. But they use it, right, by changing the colors. This is purple and this is red. It's not supposed to be those colors, but we're going to get to that another time. But this is showing you your holy or unholy trinity. The church, the crown, and the imposter in the background pulling the strings. Let's go. I'm going to show y'all how to find them. They can't hide from y'all. When I get done today, they're not going to be able to hide from y'all. Look, they're telling you who they are. Black kings of Europe, right? Now look, I like to show y'all these references. And some of these books I no longer have because they got destroyed over time or somebody borrowed them and never returned them. But when we go to this one, Black Kings of Europe, this book exposes what the mainstream will never tell you, that centuries ago Europe had many black kings. Evidence and images presented in this book. See, they can argue with the written word, but they can't argue with these pictures. Now watch this. This is, look, the Jew, a Negro, right? Now, watch the description. Watch the description of the book. Right? The most startling book of the year is Research is Unanswerable. Literary Digest, Abernathy's 1910 book. Now notice the name, Abernathy. Now think Ralph Abernathy, because this was my clue to read this book. The book is called The Jew, a Negro, has been analyzed by numerous modern authors studying race relations in earlier times in America. Then it goes into the full description. Right? Now, the Jew and Negro being study of the Jewish ancestry from an impartial standpoint by Reverend Arthur T. Abernathy, a preacher, professor, and rustic journalist, sought to demonstrate through ethnology and scriptural proof how the Jew of today, as well as his ancestors of other times, is the kinsman and descendants of the Negro. Black Hebrew Israelites, remember I told you that they were black Moors. They were what they call Zionist Moors. They the ones who wrote the protocols. Now watch this. Black Hebrew Israelites, also called Black Hebrews, American Hebrew Israelites, and Hebrew Israelites, are groups of black Americans who believe that they are descendants of the ancient Israelites. Black Hebrews adhere in varying degree to religious belief and practice of both Christianity and Judaism. They are not recognized as Jews by the greater Jewish community. Now, to pay attention, many choose to identify themselves as Hebrew Israelites or Black Hebrews rather than Jews in order to indicate their claimed historic connections. Books linking the ancestry of Jews and blacks have become popular, such as From Babylon to Timbuktu, a history of the ancient black races, including the Black Hebrews. Now, we let these people tell us whatever they want to tell us, and we fall for it hook, line, and sinker. But if you don't know who the pastor is, you cannot get from under his motherfucking foot. Now watch this. The Negro Question, Part 4, The Missing Link. Now, this is another book. There's the cover. I want y'all to see it. Right? This is another book dealing with the so-called satanic Jews, or those fake Moors, those blackamoors, who imposters, mulattoes, parading as so-called Jews. Right? This book is about 3 kingdoms of Ireland, Britain, and Scotland who were sold into North American slave trade. I have provided you with the original images of Scottish King James, King Charles I, King Charles II. I have also provided you with images of black Irish children who were sold into the slave trade. This book contains a testimony of Benjamin Franklin as he described the black French, Spanish, Germans, Russians, Swedes, and Italians in his 1751. I have eyewitness accounts from Benjamin Franklin, Professor Boyd Dawkins, and Dr. Albert Churchward. Albert Churchward was one of the preeminent self-raised Egyptologists. What does this book prove? It proves that the old world, according to Benjamin Franklin, was black. This book is also the missing link between the two sciences, history and genetics. Right? So I'm finna show you who these motherfuckers is. I'm gonna walk all the way up to their door with this one. Check me out. This is a panel from the painting in Larco Museum in Lima, Peru, depicting the Inca emperors. Now, these are all emperors of the Inca Empire before European settlers came. They all here. The ones they encountered. None of the mugs pale, right? Now, it said the panel show the last 7 Incan emperors and the subsequent first European emperor of the Inca. Now, notice, this motherfucker is European. Do he look white to you? He European. Do he look white? Right? Now, look. See that? Now, their motto was, by this sign, the cross, we shall conquer. This one right here. It's Jesuit. These motherfuckers is the ones that's supporting the Pope. And the Pope take care of these motherfuckers like they God. I'm coming at that ass. Now watch this. It said, the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V, you can't make this shit up. It's showing you the connection. Carlos Quinto, which is Charles V in Spanish, as the 15th Incan emperor. Now, check it out. The painting can be dated to around 1800 because the last 2 centuries of Carlos III, or Charles III, as the 24th Incan emperor, and his son Carlos IV, Charles IV, House of Bourbon, as the 25th Incan emperor. Charles IV reigned as king of Spain from December 4th, 1788 to March 19th, 1808, abdicated in favor of his son Ferdinand VII. Now, I can't make this shit up. It just told you the same nigga, not no white boy, the same nigga was ruling Spain, and he gave it to his son. He gave the throne up to pass it to his son. Right? It's right here. Charles IV reigned as king of Spain from December 14th, 1788 to March 19th, 1808. Abdicated in favor of his son Ferdinand. Now, let's keep going. We see who these motherfuckers is. Now watch this. Y'all gotta see this shit, because if you don't see it, you won't be able to believe it. This is a chart Now this is showing who traded slaves, when they traded them, and how many they traded in the transatlantic slave trade. Right? Now, if you look at the top, Spain and Uruguay is together. Portugal and Brazil is together. Now notice, Great Britain, the Netherlands, the United States, France, Denmark all had no slaves between 1501 and 1525. Now look, Spain is Moors, Portuguese is Moors. I told y'all that the other day. Look, slaves, 13,363 to be exact. Now look, 1526 to 1550, the same motherfucking slave traders, Spain, Portuguese, which is Moors, 50,000, right? We had almost 75,000 slaves right now. Now look, finally Great Britain get into the act between 1551 and 1575, right? Look what they do. They still can't fuck with the Spanish, 28,000. The Portuguese, 31,000. Look at Britain,